Hey guys, it's Tarot by Tess. I wanted to do another reading because yesterday's reading left a sour taste in my mouth and I don't like it. So this reading will be for Gemini, Capricorn, Leo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay? So if you're one of those signs, this will be for you. If you're dealing with somebody who's one of those signs, then this is for you as well. You know who you are, cross watchers. I just wanted to do some of this. I don't know, it just didn't feel very right. I slept like a baby last night, but today was just kind of weird. And for instance, I'm not using a regular deck because at some point one of my cats, probably Striker and Menace, knocked something over, and it was water, and it got all over my favorite tarot deck. So I've got those. I let them dry for a little while so they don't bleed onto each other, and I put it into a makeshift vice grip for now. We'll see how that works. They're very wavy. And then so I'm having to use this deck as a clarification. And right before I was about to start clarifying, I dropped the whole thing. And this is the kind that has to stay upright. So I had to put them all back in order. And then towards the end, I just said, fuck it. So I don't know if they're in order or not. But I will tell you that all the cards that came out of here that are reversed are ones that actually just flew out. And so it doesn't matter. In fact, I made sure that every card was a popper because I didn't want to pull anything on my own. So let's go ahead and talk about the bottom of the decks. Well, no, I'll do that next. I want to talk about the placements. First, we have distant past. Could be years, okay? Maybe 5 years. This is recent past, within the last year. This is current situation. This is the overarching theme, which I did not clarify, so I'll probably do that. This is the immediate future. And because we have the Knight of Swords here, it's going to be like the immediate future. Because he's like, it's like right now. It's super fast. He's the fastest knight. It's probably a message coming in. Probably with Scorpio, Leo, or a Leo with Scorpio in their chart, or a Scorpio with Leo in their chart. Okay. This is the outcome up here, which you can't really see all of it. And then move that over there. This is what will help the outcome if you should want it. And this is what will hinder the outcome should you not want it. Or just something to avoid. Either way, it could be something to avoid. You have a lot of major arcana. Let's talk about that. Well, as you probably saw, we have Devil over here in the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. We have the Hangman, the Moon, the Empress. Oh, we do have the Empress here. Okay. The Tower, the Sun, Strength, Death, a Priestess, Judgment, the Lovers, and the Magician. So something major is going on. Now, I asked for only positive messages because I did not want anything even remotely similar to the last one. Okay. And I think we're actually getting it. At least before I started clarifying, I think we were getting it. I haven't really looked since then. Also, as you could tell, I'm in a different room. This time I'm actually in a bedroom. First time. So it's kind of bare just because I'm in the process of packing up and moving. And I'm sitting on the edge of a bed with a dresser. I took off the double vanity mirrors and I've been using this. So I was hoping I could just sit on my study, but got the bed. So I'm kind of having to lean over just to like, do anything. I feel like I'm going to have a backache after this. Okay, now, talked about the positions. Bottom of the this is the primary. 4 of Pentacles. So because we have the Tower, and we have the Devil, and we have Lovers, High Priestess, the Moon. I feel like this is really for Scorpio again, because we have the same cards. I think it's dealing with the same thing, but this is 4 of Pentacles. This is the firm foundation, getting healing for something. It's also holding something back. This could be another outcome. It could be an overarching theme, which we can already have over here, but it could be a significator to let you know. Capricorn, if you're the Devil here, then this could mean it's for you, or it's about Capricorn. Somebody's holding back. I don't know what it is they're holding back. Could be a secret. Could be an addiction like we talked about before. Hopefully not. Oh. Starting to wonder if this is a bad idea. I might just give up tarot reading. I don't know. That wasn't fun at all. Oh, this is also obsession. loyalty to an idea. Somebody's holding on to something so tight because they're afraid of losing it. This is also about control, being possessive. Maybe you're trying to acquire lots of stuff, maybe money, so you can be more stable. And so you're saving money, hoarding money, but this is also the addiction, okay? Bottom of the clarifier, we have the Devil. Ugh. Now you see he's shunning the temptation. So in this particular picture, it'd be a little bit better. It's also, which equals to something reminiscent of the Lovers, which we do have in here. Please, God, let this be different. I should just read them before I turn the camera on, but it's not as genuine, I don't think. We don't have Temperance in here or Hermit or the Chariot, so there's not going to be any moderation stuff in here this time. So hopefully it's about something else. Okay, we have no Wands in here, and with this particular card, it's about something dominating someone, possibly at work. Okay, with Two of Swords in your distant past, it's talking about how either you were trying to please everybody to avoid a conflict, or you just didn't care. Like, you're like, I'm not even going to try to please anybody. I don't care if I even get into a conflict. Some people are just overspending. And so now this is saying to save. And I think you were starting to take that advice. And that's based on the Five of Pentacles in the recent past within a year. See, when you have the Devil and the Four of Pentacles, it talks about embezzling, theft, and hoarding. And with the Five of Pentacles. So this would be more about money as opposed to what was yesterday. I can also see with the Moon and the Five of Swords, which we have, and the Lovers. And Five of Swords and Lovers are near the outcome. With the Moon and the Devil, I'm seeing a clandestine love or an obsessive love. Okay. It's a lot about obsession and power. So what I'm getting is somebody has some kind of a delusion or an obsession. Most likely regarding love, because we have the Lovers here and the Three of Swords. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay. Let's go into your distant past. You have, are you kidding me? Nails, I need to get them growing back. Okay. Two of Swords reversed. Somebody has made a decision. Because Eight of Cups is in your current outcome, I'm seeing you're going to get something that you've been desiring. I think somebody's been playing a game. So Scorpio, probably you. Some other water sign, Pisces, somebody who's manipulative. I think in the past there was some kind of negativity. A lack of self-esteem or love that made somebody tell themselves they didn't want someone. Okay? But it's not a stable thought. It could change. Somebody made a decision, but I'm still seeing somebody holding back in the past. Because we have the Priestess and the Hanged Man. So somebody's playing a long game in the past. Remember, this is years ago, like 5 years, however long you need it to be. And somebody feels caught. With the Devil here, okay, this is somebody has a serious character flaw. Like, they like to toy with people, and it causes the other person to go home a sore loser. Right? Maybe they're lying to them, or they're just not taking an action. Now, when the Tower comes in, it throws you off the fence. And we do have the Tower, even though it's in reverse. So I see if it's a bad situation, it's not going to be that bad. With the Magician, I see somebody's manipulating through withholding, being very passive aggressive. So somebody's yeah. Okay, let's clarify it with the Hangman reversed. This is going to be about some kind of an idea, a belief, a very strong belief. Because I wanted to clarify all three cards that came out. They all popped, okay? And it was just so hilarious that the two came out with two on either side, which I usually do anyway. It came out like that. All of them are clarified by Ace of Swords. This is a very strong opinion. Somebody always thinks they're right. They will try to force it on you. And somebody is not backing down from this. It's also needing to cut through some kind of an illusion or a conspiracy with the Moon down here. And maybe cutting a person out. It can be an infatuation. Some kind of a triumph. And with death in the immediate future, I think somebody's going to change their mind about whatever this belief or delusion or opinion is. In the immediate future, and it stems all the way back for years. This must have been a very long-held illusion or delusion or whatever it is. But Ace of Swords is good news. And the Knight of Swords is holding the Ace of Swords. So there may be some good news from way back in the past. I don't know. Okay. But this is... Oh. Okay. Okay. I see somebody who's toying with somebody. They're being passive aggressive. again, that strong belief, whatever it was holding somebody up. So somebody had a wrong belief. It was very strong, and they're going to have to cut out of it. Could have been a delusion, whatever it is. And this is saying it's a bad judgment. We do have judgment in here. Because you have to get rid of that belief. You have to suspend your judgment because somebody was just being selfish. Somebody released somebody. They weren't really using their intuition, so they couldn't see things right. But again, with the Two of Swords, I'm seeing somebody was afraid of something, so they were procrastinating. Two people weren't getting along, and they weren't making a truce either. Now, on your outcome, we have Five of Swords reversed, which I don't like that card. But I'm getting the feeling that since it's reversed, it's saying that in the distant past with this card, the Five of Swords was upright, which would have been somebody who was dangerous and antisocial. And I mean that as in a sociopath, not someone who's shy. That's completely different. And I also see somebody, we have Five of Wands also in the outcome, which is relating to the distant past. Somebody gave up really, really quickly. And I don't know if you can see that. This is somebody who's manipulating behind the scenes because you can't see his hands. So they're probably tied behind his back, but he's probably maneuvering to get out of them. And because there's a stalemate, one or both parties decided, with the High Priestess here, just to submit to the knowledge of what will be, will be. Que sera, sera. I'm also seeing with the Devil, like this idea, belief, delusion, whatever it is, it was something, like it's almost like a habit. It was a hard habit to kick. Maybe it probably would take some time. Maybe it's feelings I'm getting because we have the Moon. Could have been feelings. And there was somebody who was pressuring somebody else when it came to love. Somebody felt backed into a corner and defensive. But we do have Seven of Wands. I was wondering. Okay. Feels like it's our outcome. Now we have Seven of Cups. We have two sevens. That's about investigating, discovering something. Cycles, perfection. So we have Seven of Cups reversed. This is somebody who's waking up to reality. So maybe in the distant past you cut through a delusion or you cut through some strong feelings. Wow, okay. So in the distant past you had one, but it's like you already cut it. And I wasn't seeing that. I was seeing it as taking a while. Okay, there's two parties though. One person cut it out. The other person didn't. They still be dealing with it. I'm not sure yet because I haven't looked there. We're still in the distant past. This is also an obsessive fantasy, and I think somebody's coming to reality about it. Maybe they didn't. A delusion or a deception. Somebody could be deceiving themselves or others, but this also says suspend judgment. So I think somebody just kind of gave up on something because there was no getting through to someone. This says you know if somebody's shady or not. You tell them exactly what you want. It's usually when it comes to love. That's what I'm seeing here. So you tell somebody what you want when it comes to love, and however they react, you go with your gut on what you should do next. Like if they say, oh, okay, well, I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and a dog or whatever, I don't know. And if they don't do anything about it, then you know. I don't know how else to say that. But I think in this particular relationship, you were liked for your inner personality. And if they didn't like you for some reason, I'm seeing it's because they didn't really know you. Actually, that's exactly what it is. And they were probably really quick to cut you out. And they probably felt like you were trying to force them in love to do something. Okay. Could even be they thought you were forcing them to do something religiously. And so they were very closed off. And they were shooing you away for whatever reason. All right, now, recent past, within the last year, Ten of Swords reversed. So somebody's getting over a betrayal, a breakup that's already happened. Like, this is done. But there's still a little bit of residual feelings. Recently in the last year. Okay. I don't know if something happened that brought all this back up or if it's just been a continuous process. Somebody's been thoroughly analyzing the situation, whether it's a breakup, a betrayal. Like, they've been going through, like, in their mind and, like, tagging everything. I see is a police officer with a cork board, and he's putting pictures up and using tacks and, like, on a map even, with, like, those little strings that try to coordinate something. I don't know. They're trying to solve a cold case, even though we don't have the Hermit here. Or we have the Eight of Cups, but no Hermit. That's what I'm getting that feeling. They're trying to solve something mysterious. Now, because the Sun is here and you're present, I think you're going to find out, or you started to kind of get it after you cut through a delusion, which is the moon with the Ace of Swords. Within the last year, you started cutting through that delusion. And I think now you're finally starting to see something, or they are, whoever, that this ending was a blessing in disguise. It was a silver lining. Like, there's more. And I don't have the picture to show you, but normally the Ten of Swords are stuck in this guy's spine. So he's like staked to the ground. He's been murdered. He's been stabbed in the back multiple times. So he can't move, even though he's possibly close to being murdered, but not completely. But here, when it's in reverse, the swords can fall out and the person can move on. Doesn't mean they don't have the wounds, but they can move. I see recovering. And you have to take this opportunity to recover and use it wisely. Maybe you realized you were just some kind of a scapegoat. This is coming out of a bad situation. And funnily enough, we have that in your present. So I think this is continuing on from the last year. Like within a year, things finally started changing. All right, on either side, well, I want to clarify Ten of Swords. I got 2 cards. You got the moon. Okay. So the moon is about an obsession, an addiction. This is the Pisces card. It's about a surprise, possibly. With the Ace of Swords, it's a new start. It's victory, but only after you cut through some kind of delusion or a conspiracy. Maybe that was the scapegoat. Okay. Could be a painful relationship with the Three of Swords over here. In fact, I think that is something. I think you're going to get some kind of an insight about a painful relationship. And that might help you, because this is the helping section. But I'm seeing you're having to fight tooth and nail to cut through this thing, because we have strength over here. Now, there'll be a message that comes in and helps you quicker. But yeah, this is, again, I'm seeing an important story. It was a big deal, just like Scorpio's reading. So this must be for Scorpio. And maybe they're dealing with all these people. With the Devil and High Priestess, secrecy, deception. But when something is revealed, it's for your good. That's what I'm always seeing. It's some kind of a hallucination, possibly paranoia. Maybe one of the parties was paranoid. That's why they were all so blocked, I guess is what you could say. Like shut down, like walls gone up. Okay. Because we have the Seven of Cups over here in reverse with the moon, within the last year, this can be as recent as like an hour ago, okay, up to a year. I'm seeing realistic thoughts being clouded. Like there's some kind of a fantasy or a temptation, which Seven of Cups is about. One person probably came to reality, or somebody was giving into the delusion, but now I'm seeing cutting through it. Like maybe one person cut through, or the other person knew they should, but they couldn't for whatever reason. But I think you're starting to. But Seven of Cups is in reverse. So I'm thinking, yeah, these realistic thoughts are starting to come in. For whatever reason, I'm getting digital art, the internet. Okay, you'll know what that's about. Wow. Okay, so in your distant past, and even up to the future, with the Hangman here. Wow, okay. Now you have the Devil and the Magician. So this tells me the wrong crowd. Like, somebody was kind of going with, they just weren't hanging around the right people, and that may have influenced their behavior. Or they just didn't want to hang with you, or, vice versa, because you weren't the right kind of person. But with the Hangman here and the moon, what I'm seeing is, again, like with all those cards over here, somebody was forcing something on somebody, or at least that's how they felt. And so they felt like they were trying to control them, or just somebody was controlling, because we do have possessiveness in here. And this says the need to control alienated somebody. And the Four of Pentacles is somebody who's alienated. And it leaves you to kind of deal with stuff alone. Okay? Plus we have Five of Pentacles. So again, somebody felt left out in the cold. They felt cut out. And I think they're finally starting to get that freedom from that suffering. That's what Five of Pentacles is about. More so if it were in reverse, but it didn't come out that way. So it's just it's a slow process. They're going to get there, but it's not going to be in the way they think they're going to get there, and it's not going to be as soon as they think. It's not going to be around the corner. It's going to be really far around the corner. And what I'm seeing is somebody needs a helping hand. Normally the hand's not here. It's 2 people outside of a church, but, whatever. With death, I see like the end of troubles, possibly monetary, but I'm really just seeing troubles. I get the feeling, yeah, this was blocked happiness. Somebody felt like their happiness was blocked because another person wouldn't commit to them. And with the Eight of Cups here is like the reality of that was uncomfortable and they didn't want to deal with it. And so that's probably why they had some kind of a delusion. But Eight of Cups is reversed. So in your present, maybe that reality is going to start getting more comfortable. And with Two of Swords here and the Five of Pentacles, you've been riding out a really hard time with lots of drama. You've been riding it out. But again, it's been a very gradual change that hasn't completely finished yet. I see a love interest thinks you would not be able to take care of them, or that they think they're not good enough for you, however that works. And they also think that you won't be happy with them, whichever who that is. This is a cyclical love connection. It's like that. It's like I get the feeling it's going to keep coming back around. Or they're one of those people that are on and off and you just never told them to fuck off. But it's not committed. It could be friends with benefits, that doesn't have to be, but mostly I see being cut out, blocked happiness. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so let's go to your present. Major Arcana, the Tower, in reverse, so good. This does reflect a little bit on the past. In the past, this is somebody who did something. They were trying to hide the truth, something terrible that happened, something that would be the Tower, okay? But because it's in reverse, it's talking about the Tower, whatever it was, is in the past. This is normally when, everything crumbles, and it did. Like, this is a big, dramatic moment. It's the end of an era. It's a quick, rapid change, and nothing's ever the same, especially with death in here. It's absolute, and it's scary. It's also a breakup for some people. So you have gone through a breakup over here. Now it's in reverse. So it may have been a temporary breakup. Maybe you're coming back together with somebody. Actually, yeah, that is possible. Interesting. We don't have the Six of Cups, but who knows? It could be, because we do have Judgment here. And that's usually about reconciliation, but it's more like reconciling an idea. Okay. Or belief, or an illusion, whatever. Tower reversed. Okay. This is a forceful removal of something. So somebody just really cut something out. And it wasn't your choice. Okay. But now in the present, you're dealing with it. And what you're dealing with is the residual consequences of somebody else's devil situation. That's what I'm getting. Or you're the one doing this. And because we have Judgment down here, I'm seeing you're back in the saddle again after this destruction. But you just needed all this time to construct and deconstruct. Like, again, you were labeling everything and figuring out what happened. And you're keeping your head. I also see somebody who's alone after a divorce. I mean, that's what it means. So interesting. We do have the Bride card up here. But now you're regaining control. And that's just in the present. So this has been going on a long time. What happened? Where is this thing right here? Oh, dear. Okay. In your immediate future, you know how we have the Knight of Swords? Until you have Knight of Swords and the Tower, it's a sneak attack. But the Tower's in reverse. So even though I think it's coming and it's quick, I don't think it's as bad as you might anticipate. Okay? It possibly could be a Leo or Scorpio. So you can be watching out for that person. But this says you need to accept something and do the right thing. Accept that maybe you were out of touch with reality. And you need to let go. And you just have to remember that you're an important person. Okay? What you think is important. How you feel is valid. Nobody can really take that from you. But you're just going to clear this away and start over. Now, a lot of the times when I see this, it's starting over with the person that you've cleared things with. But it doesn't have to be. It could be on your own. This could be temporary pain, temporary change, a temporary breakup. But because it talks about the past, somebody didn't get caught. They got away with something. Whatever this Tower is, they hid the truth. They were wanting to avoid confrontation about this. And the Lightning, it should have overthrown whoever, was bad, the bad guy, right? But in reverse, it says the Lightning kind of got shifted toward the innocent here in this case. Now that's because it's in reverse, that's the past. Hopefully it's not the present. I'm really sure it's the past. But you're going to know that more than I would. But you're coming out of the bad situation now, just like Knight of Swords. So within like the last year and presently, you're coming out of that bad situation. But you're going to have to let it go. You're going to have to, again, integrate that into yourself by, remember, saying it's part of your story, pretty much. I don't mean that as in like an alibi. I mean it as in, everybody has their story. Like, everybody's writing a book. Think of it, every minute of every day is like part of the words on the page, that kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing. And so just write it down. And then maybe literally for some people, because we do have the moon in here, it talks about journaling and writing. And you kind of compartmentalize it like you've been doing, like you've been labeling everything, which must drive you crazy. But somebody was avoiding confrontation, or they are avoiding confrontation is what I'm seeing. With the High Priestess here and what hinders, it's that passivity, not doing something, not taking action. That will hinder the outcome. And passivity brings in the Tower. But whatever happens, it's not going to be as bad. And this is usually within a few days, or maybe even hours, it depends. But remember, if this is not you, it's somebody close to you, and you have to deliver the message to them. But this says don't be complacent, okay? Some of you, it's a personal revelation. Maybe it's for both people who are involved, or all the people involved. You may be overwhelmed that somebody got away with something. To clarify it, I got the Sun. So something's coming to light. This is like the secret coming out. This is also freedom. And we had freedom recently as well. But this is like a happy freedom. With the moon, it says your intuition's very high. It will lead you to the right person. Maybe you're the person who's going to help you see the light. Something's coming to light. The work isn't going to be as hard anymore from now on. You get to radiate who you are. You get to talk about your side, your stance, and you're confident. And you just have the freedom to live simply. You have time to just be yourself. You're not going to be rushed unless you want to be. But you're going to see the truth. And here it says the wait is almost over. And it's in your favor, remember? So that secret that's coming out, or the information, or the delusion, you're coming out of the bad situation. So whatever is coming in, or whatever's being revealed is great. And it's going to help. Like you're almost done. Right? If you've been dealing with this for like at least 5 years, yeah. Okay. And somebody's going to see you in a positive light. That's what this says. And you're counting your blessings. I see positivity. And this is in the present. This is great. So positivity, success, warmth. Yeah. Like I get the Empress energy. And we do have Queen of Pentacles, which is in reverse. That's something that will hinder. That's something that would help. I would think Queen of Pentacles upright would help. And she's very reminiscent of the Empress. And that's somebody who's just a good soul. They're very inviting, down to earth. They take people in. They help people that are struggling. So that could be somebody that's coming in for you, or it could be you for somebody else. Or that's just how somebody sees you, or that's how you see someone else. But this is happiness. This says something is around the corner. And it's great. But you're also not seeing things too optimistically. You're just even keeled. People are going to see you the same way. Right? Other card, all these popped out, so there's a lot. 9 of Wands. This is having your guard up, okay? It's once bitten, twice shy. That could apply to all the parties here. But again, somebody's trying to avoid something. With the 3 of Swords here, somebody's trying to avoid the facts, okay? So that's, again, talking about delusions. And with the 10 of Wands in here, over here, something that will hinder. I'm seeing don't put pressure on somebody to be perfect. Can't be, right? With the Empress, I'm seeing somebody didn't get caught taking advantage of someone. Yeah. That's probably going to come to light then. Or somebody's going to start seeing somebody in a more positive light. And this says somebody is ready to fight. Oh, wow. But it's going to take some courage. Maybe you have to confront somebody that you want to fight or who wants to fight you. And you're going to be very courageous and patient. Because I see lots of potential here. There's so much goodness coming in. But it's just like a really quick learning curve. And you're going to have to take all your willpower to restrain yourself. Kind of hide back. Because somebody's suspicious. I see you're going to have to be resilient. This is also about domination and action. Somebody's very strong and determined. They're not ever giving up. And this says you have to not give up on your belief. Like, you know what you believe. I'm seeing don't back down. Even if the Knight of Swords comes in the immediate future, this is somebody who's going to scatter their enemies. They usually go into their own ruin, though. This is somebody like love-hate relationship. They will insult you. I think they're being brave, but I don't know. I don't really like the Knight of Swords. So this is also new insight. I think you might be. This is a lot of pressure as well. Like somebody might be at a breaking point. So somebody's going to use all their willpower. I see lots of pressure and stress regarding love. You're just going to be resilient, and you have to stand behind what you believe. Very reminiscent of the Seven of Wands over here. Again, I see people who aren't sure where they stand with somebody, so they're just all defensive. And yeah, they're awaiting an enemy is what they're doing. This is you have to find the courage. You have to stand up. You have to protect yourself. But at the same time, realize that you're stronger than you ever imagined. Because obviously you've come out of the Tower situation and the Ten of Swords situation. This says you're close to your goal. Okay, you're almost the Ten of Wands. And you're going to get some kind of insight, or somebody else is, that's going to help them see the light as far as the sun. I don't know if it's having your stance like the sun suggests, but death is here, and they're resisting the change. Maybe they don't want to change how they see someone or a situation. But judgment's here, okay? And it says somebody has to face the music. With the Eight of Cups, somebody's trying to protect a dream they have. I can see that with the moon. Maybe it's a delusion. They're trying to protect a secret love or a secret life. Somebody's trying to protect that. And that's why they're so defensive. And they're holding back. They're trying not to give anything away. But with the Ace of Swords, somebody's going to get persuaded. They're going to see the light, okay? Whatever it is. Good news, right? But they're just going to have to get forced out of their comfort zone with the Seven of Wands and the outcome. That's what's going to end up happening. Because they're very comfortable in their knowledge. They are set in their ways with the Four of Pentacles. They don't want to budge. But for whatever reason, you or they are going to be able to persuade someone else. And we have the Magician here in the outcome. And that's the persuader. It's very reminiscent of Scorpio to me. But yeah, it says hang in there. Things aren't going to be as you envisioned, but you could still get something much better than what you're envisioning. Okay. Now, we have Eight of Cups reversed. Scorpio's got this. Okay. It's going back to a previous love. We do have Judgment, which is a reconciliation. The only thing we're missing is Six of Cups. And then, some other cards that might say that. That's what I think of anytime I see the Eight of Cups. It's emotional withdrawal, but it's in reverse. So it's like emotion coming out, I suppose. I think it's joy, really. So I'm glad this is your present situation. This is coming up really soon then. Maybe like 8 days, maybe? 9 days? 10 days. 10 days, max. Somebody's going to see something. It might be involving the immediate future as well, because that's, anything. Okay, Eight of Cups reversed is a reunion, a returning, but somebody's uncertain, okay? And I think it's a talk about some kind of a parting that was confusing. This is you need to seek advice. But this is great joy. I told you it was going to be about great joy, you guys. This is awesome. Okay, good. But I do see somebody this is not leaving disillusionment. It's the opposite. This is leaving disillusionment. So somebody's keeping an illusion? What? Or maybe it's delayed because it's in reverse. Or maybe somebody buys into it. I don't know. Just a person. This is a returning love. And it says there's a desperate longing for the impossible. But, there's great joy. So maybe you thought something was impossible? Yeah, and with Nine of Wands, this says hang on and persevere. Don't give up too quickly. But with death, in the immediate future, I see moving on. But this is in reverse, so it's as if maybe they're moving on from the Tower. Or they're moving on from another relationship. Okay. But the Priestess in here, somebody's developing their psychic abilities or their intuition, and that's probably helping them see things better. Also, with the Tower in here, whatever has transpired, whatever the Tower is, whatever the Ten of Swords is, or the Moon, this was something that was meant to happen. It was supposed to happen. It was necessary. It could have been a change or a conflict. Now, as your outcome, you have the Five of Swords. So somehow it's related to your present. The Eight of Cups here. You're going to learn about a dark secret. It's probably in the past too. Five of Swords reversed. dark secret. You're going to learn about it. And that's probably what's going to help somebody see things differently. I don't know if it's going to take away the illusion, but they're going to see things differently. Wow, okay. Let's go ahead and go to the immediate future. The Knight of Swords. I'm getting that creepy feeling again, you guys. I don't know. Because we have the Lovers and the Five of Swords. Those are the two cards that you have to have for sexual assault. The only one missing is the King of Swords, but we have the Knight of Swords. But he's not in reverse. So, I don't think that's it, especially because Tower's in reverse. Last time it was upright. But there's like little hints of it in here now. But with the Eight of Cups and Nine of Swords, or with the Tower and Knight of Swords, we talked about a sneak attack, right? The Tower's in reverse, so maybe, especially Five of Swords, maybe it was in the past, there was a sneak attack. And it's not coming in the future. That makes me feel a little bit better. Because I'd hate to see, like, in the very, very, very immediate future, there's a sneak attack. I don't want to hear about that. Although Capricorn did get something like that, and this was them charging somebody, and they prevented some kind of an attack. So then maybe that's the one thing Capricorn was here for, but I don't think this is really completely for Capricorn. A little reminiscent of Scorpio. But with the Knight of Swords, I don't know who this is. I mean, it's got to be Scorpio or Leo, or somebody who has both in their chart. If you don't know your chart, I keep saying that a lot. You know, you go to like Cafe Astrology, or there's a lot of places. You just type in natal chart, which is your birth chart. Put in your day, time, place of birth, and it tells you all your signs. And so Scorpio or Leo could be your sun, and then one or the other could be in your chart somewhere else, like your rising sign, your Venus sign, whatever. It's just talking about, it makes it more specific to the person watching. All right, but with Knight of Swords in here, this is somebody who's brave. They're typically seen as a soldier, a paramedic, a police officer, somebody who investigates too. Also a writer. But with the Eight of Cups here, somebody who craves danger. Somebody who craves danger? I mean, they're coming this way, right? They're coming towards the whatever's present. We do have Eight of Cups as present as somebody coming back. So somebody who craves danger is coming back. But like this person, you don't want them as an enemy. That's probably why somebody has their guard up. This is not somebody you want to fuck with. They scatter their enemies, and this is like full on action. They're galloping, they're running. This is lots of opposition. But if the person goes too fast and they're not willing to listen to the Ace of Swords, they're trying to shove down somebody's throat, and this is going to their ruin. Maybe this is the message you have to deliver to somebody else. But this is a romantic surprise. Okay, so maybe it's not an attack. I think it was in the past. It's a spontaneous change or an unexpected encounter, maybe a new admirer. But there's some kind of resistance or opposition or defense. And maybe this person is seen as an enemy with the Nine of Wands. Like, Nine of Wands is putting up your defense against an enemy. You think somebody's lurking out there, right? And then here they come. But I think somebody's going to be pleasantly surprised, have great joy when this person comes back. That's what I'm seeing. Maybe they cut through the delusion with the Ace of Swords that they have. Maybe they cut through their own delusion. I'm trying to give a little bit of, make it a well-rounded situation. But there's something to do here with communication, okay? Somebody who's seeking the truth. So maybe they were just searching for the truth, which would be the Ace of Swords. And I think it's going to end up in triumphant success. This is so much better. I mean, yeah, there's some bad stuff in here, but it seems it's like it's already happened. But there's no lying or deceit in here. It's all truth. But because they're truthful, or you're truthful, vice versa, everybody, and there's somebody seeking the truth, this is a love-hate relationship. This is somebody who loves you, but at the same time, they would slit your throat. Wow, okay. Or at least that's, the feelings you have. I'm not saying somebody would actually do that. Please don't actually do that. But this is somebody who, they would insult you. Like, they would use their words to cut you. I'm in. And I'm really thinking Scorpio, Leo, or both. I think that's why I was here, because I was wanting to know who the Knight is. And the Knight's a person. Now, I'm not sure if they're staying for long, because Knights are usually just messengers. They bring messages from the King, and this would be the King of Swords. The King of Swords is kind of in here. So at some point, there may have been sexual assault, but let's just leave that because I don't want to talk about it. All right, so we have strength and death. Okay. So in the immediate future with death here, your outcome is going to get affected. If it's an obstacle or a challenge or a conflict, immediately whatever truth is coming through that's going to help bring great joy and shine light, whoever's coming back with a message or you're going to give them a message, it's going to end the conflict. And the conflict is over the Five of Swords reversed. That's a past violence when somebody had been a tyrant. It's a past wrong choice on instant gratification sexually, because we have lust and then the Lovers. Okay. And with the Magician in here, it's somebody who's able to do something, maybe possibly with persuasion, but somebody's going to help somebody. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know where it is, but I do remember seeing this earlier and it immediately came into mind. Because it's some card combination. I can't remember what it is. Somebody is feeling guilty or worthless. Maybe both. Maybe it's different people. About a long forgotten past, which I'm guessing is back over here somewhere. Oh wait, you can't see the head move. Okay. Well, anyway, this is going to be the end of the struggle. The feeling like this is a victim mentality, and it's a long forgotten past, and somebody doesn't even remember the origin of why somebody couldn't get along. But I don't necessarily agree with that, because there's something major in here, because it was the Tower. Sorry I kind of jumped to the outcome, but talking about this as well. Somebody feels worthless and somebody else is coming in to help somebody else with that. Now with Judgment here, oh wow. Okay. Somebody's coming in to help somebody with PTSD. That's what this is. Because I remember that Judgment and Five of Swords is PTSD. But it's over, so obviously it's PTSD because it's already happened. For those of you who don't know, that's post-traumatic stress disorder. And for most of you out there, you know that I have it because I've talked about it a couple times. This is stay positive. Also, whatever's unresolved, maybe somebody thinks somebody's two-faced. This is an old wound getting reopened in order to end it. With Judgment here, I think it's about resolving it. Just remember, you can't please everybody. Maybe before somebody didn't want to please everybody or they thought they couldn't, but this is, you can't. So if they're not going to listen to you or vice versa, I'm seeing don't accept defeat. Don't accept a defeated attitude. I see somebody just wants it to be over, possibly PTSD. But somebody's not letting somebody else move on. Like they just keep reopening this wound or whatever it is. It says you have to lay down your swords and negotiate, or somebody wants to. Before, they weren't having a truce, so I'm seeing now it needs to happen in the outcome, or it's going to. We have what's going to help and hinder, so we'll talk about that soon. But man, this Five of Swords it has so much in here. Wow. Now with the Empress and a couple other cards, there's something that's been neglected, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's why the Tower's here. Something's neglected, but it's not going to be. Somebody's going to actually take action on something that's been neglected. And it's about a wrong choice with the Lovers, so it's probably about love. Well, I'm sure it is, actually. It's about having been conquered negatively, in a negative way. There's some kind of past resentment about a conflict that happened. It's unresolved. Somebody's been mourning, which is the PTSD. Now, PTSD is something that's going to hinder. So I'm seeing, I mean, obviously it's not helping people, but I mean, I don't know what you do about it. So this is also somebody who's not standing up for themselves. Because I think they feel worthless. And it says a man loses a love over a previous betrayal. I'm seeing, even though there was a negative conquering, somebody was a victim, it was a sneak attack, but not anymore. But basically, in the outcome, everything's not good. And I think somebody's going to see this. It's just where you lay down your swords. You don't try to kill each other. So I guess the Knight of Swords, well, he's not going to flip around, but it looks like he's falling asleep. So maybe he's going to fall asleep with that anger or whatever it is. This is open to change. Somebody's going to be open to change with this fight, this conflict, because it's coming to an end. Oh, goodness. I'm leaning over and this is like, oh, gosh. Okay. So death. Yay. Yeah, it's the end of a conflict. And with the Ten of Swords, it's the end to that old whatever. And I think there's a start of something new. Actually, I'm sure of it. And with the Lovers here in your outcome, ooh, interesting. And with oh wow. Magician and Lovers says Soulmate. I didn't really realize that. Okay. So Soulmate. And they're both upright, so that's good. Maybe it's a Leo and a Scorpio. I don't know. But definite outcome is ending a conflict with Maybe a soulmate did something. Oh, okay. Very reminiscent of twin flames, you guys. Twin flames like murder each other and then like leave and then come back and then leave. It's, yeah. Anyway, so with the lovers at the end and death, I'm seeing lots of passion. Oh, with him too, lots of great sex. Scorpios, you're gonna be happy. Everybody's gonna be happy, but especially Scorpios. Um, I'm also seeing a breakup. It's the end of the lovers. There must be another relationship in here that I'm not sure. I don't see people being soulmates and then breaking up and having sex. You're gonna have to figure that out because I don't know. Interesting. And whoever this is, as your overarching theme, I think it's for ladies out there, but it could be for both people. Whoever you're interested in, whoever's interested in you, they think you're fucking the best thing ever. Like this person, I mean, I know she's pregnant and everything, but women, they think this guy or whoever thinks you're the most attractive person they've ever had or met. They're being drawn to you like a magnet, or vice versa. A woman feel this way towards a man, or whoever. Probably the magician. Yeah, the magician and the high priestess. Uh-oh. I did see this earlier. I shouldn't say anything. Like, kinky sex, pretty much, which is probably the great sex. We have the high priestess and the magician, so now we have the dominant and the submissive in here from the Scorpio reading. So maybe this is just, I don't know. Maybe it's fixing the reading. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, and again, like with, can't see the cards. Okay. So with death and the sun, there's a silver lining in this whole situation. It was supposed to happen, and then even though it sucked, it's gonna get better. And I do see a dark secret coming out, or maybe it's a dark secret from the past. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be for your benefit, but it's been a secret, and maybe there's a secret determination or a secret ambition to end some kind of past resentment. Somebody doesn't know about it. With the moon here in the recent past, I'm seeing emotional disruption. That's in the immediate future as well as in the past, especially with the tower. But this radical change was needed. I'm seeing somebody's going to be driven by some kind of emotional hunger. And this is going to lead to a transformation of the final kind of transformation. It's going to be a really good change. And it's the end of something abusive. Somebody's going to end a habit, because I get like quit smoking is what I get with the moon and the devil, or death, sorry. And when I get quit smoking, that's quitting something that's bad for you, or just an addiction. Maybe about lots of passion. Did we get this before? I swear we got this last time. Scorpios, this is definitely for you guys and whoever you're dealing with. And with the Empress, I'm seeing there is some kind of romantic, unexpected encounter or admirer, but it's going to be work, is what I'm getting, because there's some cons that come with the pros. So it's not going to be easy, but I think the sun is going to make it easier. Okay? Or I'm seeing it's probably better to do something now as opposed to later. It might be easier now. I'm kind of liking this reading now. Okay. All right, let's go to your outcome. I already talked about these, but we have 2 5s. So it's talking about lots of change, lots of upheaval, but it's temporary. And it's about a past betrayal, somebody who has PTSD, a past resentment, somebody's feeling worthless, a victim, an attack, an unresolved issue that somebody not be able to remember. And somebody have just been trying to avoid a defeat because they were afraid. Somebody was afraid, and so they were just avoiding the facts, and they were neglecting something. They didn't want to get caught or confront something. Okay. The other part of the outcome, the 5 of Swords reversed and the 7 of Wands came out at the same time. This is somebody who feels defensive, but they're going to have to come out of their comfort zone. They can't keep hiding. And somebody's going to have to stand their ground. You know what you believe, remember? So I'm thinking with the Magician here, you're going to have to persuade somebody about what you believe. Some of you feel defensive about what you believe. So it's probably just like you're going to say what you believe and like have a back and forth discussion. I mean, I'm sure these people had a talk before they started being all, I don't know, Lord of the Rings elf people. I don't know. Okay. It's also a lot of passion coming at someone. With the Empress here and the Lovers, I can see that. Maybe that's how you guys are going to talk. I don't know. But still, with the Seven of Wands, somebody's not sure on something or how they feel about this situation. Somebody need to be persuaded. And then somebody's really good at it, though. It's a challenge. Now, because Nine of Wands is in here, and we talked about with the Empress, there's going to be a lot of cons to this relationship, okay? Or this discussion. And maybe more cons than pros. Yeah, probably. I see a female getting her wish, okay? It's a challenge. And I'm seeing you're going to have to kind of pay for whatever it is you want. So, yeah. That's because the Nine of Wands is here. So you're going to get what you want. We also have the Nine of Wands reversed as something that will hinder. So maybe letting your defenses down and not making somebody pay for what they want. Okay. That makes sense. Let's move those over there. Don't make somebody pay for heartache. I'm seeing somebody hasn't made a decision. They need to be persuaded. They're going to end up as king of the hill. They're going to end up on top. And then they're going to have the advantage. Somebody has to be assertive, though, and persevere. But the female's getting her wish. Six of Pentacles here. Somebody start out not knowing how to apply themselves. But because the Six of Pentacles is in reverse, I think they're going to end up figuring out how to, well, I hate to say this, but with the Magician, like how to manipulate the situation in a good way. Okay? Somebody's going to figure it out. Whoever the Magician is, which this is the dominant person if you think about the High Priestess. But this is taking action as well. It's your outcome. And something that would hinder it is being passive, like the submissive High Priestess. I'm also seeing any effort that was made in the past is going to help out the situation now to have more success and be less work. But you're just going to talk about where you stand. And I think somebody's going to control their sex drive, or they already have. And with the Hangman in reverse over here, I'm seeing somebody hasn't decided, but pretty quickly they're no longer going to bide their time. And this is your outcome. So it's not going to be very long. This says, you're battling, you've been struggling, you've been fantasizing about giving up. But it says don't keep pushing because you're almost there. You're really close. You're not your own worst enemy like you think. You're not going to be embarrassed, or don't be afraid to be hurt. I'm saying be adaptable. Take on the challenge, be assertive, join the competition, whatever is going on here. Maybe play the game that somebody else was playing in a manipulative way. Play the game. See, I'm also seeing getting one's desires and then not wanting it because it's too much work. Maybe it's the illusion wasn't as good as the real thing. But this is a soulmate right here, guys. Lovers and the Magician, that's a soulmate. How could you not want a soulmate? I think somebody is this is don't give up. So I'm seeing work through it, okay? This is your outcome and it's soulmate. So stop being lazy. All right. Lovers. Well, there is a decision to be made. That hasn't been made yet, okay? But again, somebody's going to persuade somebody. And this is look at all that insight he has, right? With the Five of Wands in here, I see getting different viewpoints. It's coming across as like speaking different languages, but getting it. And so I'm seeing people are going to talk, for lack of a better idea, and they're going to start seeing things differently. Maybe this is like an epiphany or something coming out of his head. Okay, with the High Priestess here, even though it's in the hindrance spot, it could just be here for a reason. I'm seeing he's going to initiate something. The High Priestess is going to keep him from harming. I'm seeing winning without effort. Because the Magician, yeah, he can manifest anything he wants. So I don't know if he doesn't want to put in the effort or if it's supposed to be hard, but then he figures out how to do it where it's not hard. But again, I'm seeing submissive to a dominant. Okay. With strength, I see, yeah, somebody can get the job done. Any problems are going to be resolved. And it's going to be by controlling one's base passions and lusts with strength here. So somebody is going to have to hold back their lust and baser passions. Could be anger as well. That's what's going to make it more pros than cons. You got your work cut out for you, Scorpios, I'm just saying. And we have a trickster, but the Five of Swords is reversed and Magician's upright, so I think somebody is not going to be tricky. At least not this time. And with the Five of Wands, if you're going to join whatever the game is, you're going to stand out. Like, somebody stands out to this person. Very unique. And with the Judge Judgment over here. I'm getting fame. That might just be somebody who stands out. But I see fame. It's an ideal partner. It's a soulmate. So it's got to work out. Okay, with the sun, I'm seeing somebody has a lot of drive or ambition, a lot of energy to make things happen, but they got a little bit of an ego. I mean, if you're that great, I mean, you probably would have trouble with that. And then with the hangman, I'm seeing, because it's in reverse, I'm seeing action will be taken. And there probably is some kind of a strategy that comes up for someone. Also with the devil here, and magician, I'm seeing abuse gets blocked. And we did have the end of abuse. Also the end of manipulation. And then with the death, usually that's a lack of skills or a lack of making something happen. So I think somebody with the Five of Wands, somebody might try to give up too quickly. And I'm seeing don't do that, because if you keep persevering, you're going to come up with a solution, a really great one. And it's going to make it, like, I don't know, easy as pie, I guess. I don't know how to say that. All right, what's going to help? Nine of Wands reversed. Stop being defensive, especially about some kind of a heartbreak. Three of Swords. Also, stop protecting a third party relationship. Okay, I'm seeing buck retribution is what I'm seeing. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, no revenge here. No recompense. That's not what you're after. Like, you're after something else. So I'm seeing drop it. Okay? And I mean, Tower is reversed, so I think it does get dropped. I'm just telling you now. I'm also seeing, yeah, when you let down your guard about whatever this Three of Swords situation is, because this is usually, whatever the Three of Swords is here, I think it's a betrayal, possibly sexual or lustful, or even a dark secret about an addiction. People usually avoid thinking about this Three of Swords. That's why I almost always get Four of Swords in reverse in readings, but it's not here. So you're actually going to face the music, okay? Or somebody is. Putting defenses down. It's being vulnerable, being able to be seen as weak. I'm seeing give up on this Three of Swords, this pain. Yeah, and with death here, I'm seeing do not resist this change. It's for your own good. I'm also seeing stop protecting a secret with the Eight of Cups reversed. Stop protecting secret life or just a secret love. And again, I'm seeing get out of your comfort zone with that Seven of Wands in regards to love. Make something happen. I'm also seeing don't pressure people. Or here I am saying make something happen. I say don't pressure people. Well, okay, I'm seeing don't feel the pressure to be perfect. Yeah, that's what I was seeing earlier. So, and it's going to really build your character, or maybe it's something to work on. And okay, with the Empress here, I'm seeing don't take advantage of somebody, because you're just going to end up in this situation again. So I'm seeing be honest and direct, like I think the Knight of Swords would be. Because in reverse, he's deceitful, but he seeks the truth. That's something that's going to help you. What's going to hinder you? Ten of Wands. This is pressure, or pressuring yourself and being sneaky. Again, taking on too much responsibility and being weighed down by overcommitting. Also holding back. So holding back is something that will hinder this. I'm seeing you're probably not going to have to work to keep a passion alive, but you will if you're inflexible, too controlling is what I'm seeing. Like you're trying to drive the whole thing. If you're inflexible, if you're two-faced. Okay. Also, what's going to hinder you is if you're not willing to say no, or if you're not willing to hear no. That's going to hinder you. This is a God-approved merging. Interesting. And it's a major spiritual cycle. And yeah, so it's going to like merge you and God as well. I'm seeing no hiding. Okay, remember we're letting down, we're being vulnerable. And no punishments. Oh, at least not the bag. I'm also over here with the Nine of Wands, I'm seeing be persuaded. Because if something really is traumatic for somebody, I'm seeing like, listen, be persuaded. Right now, Ten of Wands with the Five of Swords talks about do not bully somebody, do not take advantage of somebody, do not start a conflict. Because remember, we're just having the end of conflict. And so what's going to hinder that is having a conflict. So no arguing, just be civil. And with the Two of Swords reversed, I'm seeing like, what I get is stay out of office politics. But this is not about the office. So I'm seeing you're going to discuss things, but I'm seeing don't polarize each other. That's what I'm getting. Like, and Scorpios, you guys are really good at this, so this probably is for you. It's more of finding middle ground, seeing all sides, and then maybe persuading somebody else to see that, vice versa, whatever. Because somebody had a really hard time. They had a tough time. It was overwhelming with this Five of Wands. I'm also seeing some, don't make it one-sided. Like, everybody needs to put in effort. So no one-sided relationship. Also, don't get weighed down by this with the devil here. Don't get bogged down. Don't get unbalanced. Don't do anything unhealthy. Also, don't fixate on debt or loneliness. With Nine of Wands reversed here, I'm seeing you're going to have to be determined. Okay? You're going to have to be persistent. Maybe not about your particular view, but just, I guess, for this outcome that we have. Normally with Nine of Wands, it says dogged determination does not pay off, but the Nine of Wands is reversed. So normally the Ten of Wands, that would not help. That would hinder. But because Nine of Wands is over here in reverse, it's going to help to be determined. Okay, now, whoever the High Priestess is submissive. Most likely a woman, doesn't have to be. Whoever this person is, what's going to hinder with the Ten of Wands is being fucking demanding. Okay? Putting lots of pressure on somebody, because this person can only take so much. And I just think of them dropping all the wands and like giving up quickly and saying, fuck this shit, and I'm leaving. So don't do that. That's going to hurt. Okay. With the Hangman in here, it's in reverse. Oh, this is a long reading. But I'm clearing everything up, so I guess it's worth it. What I'm seeing is hard work behind the scenes will pay off, but manipulation behind the scenes will hinder. And I see Hangman reverse, so I think people are not going to manipulate behind the scenes. Even though it looks like it, that's more if he were in reverse, because he's needing to get out quicker. But here, he's upright. The blood's not rushing to his head. He's restraining himself, so he doesn't have to manipulate behind the scenes. He can breathe better. Won't faint from all the hard work. Okay, also with the Ten of Wands and the Magician, I'm seeing don't try to prove yourself or prove your point of view. I'm just seeing talk about it, you know. Again, I'm seeing pressure to be perfect, and that just relax, okay? Yes, be determined, but not in a way that is overwhelming. Remember, with the Empress here, can't please everybody. Okay? So you're going to disagree on some things, and so what? All right, last thing that's going to hinder. Queen of Pentacles reversed came out. This is somebody who's suspicious and careless and tricky, so don't do it. I'm seeing working so hard and being successful, but you can't relax. That's the Ten of Wands here. Don't take on so much. You can be determined, but you need a middle ground. I'm also seeing don't be afraid, because that's a hindrance. Also, don't be evil. That's what's here. Don't mistrust people. Don't be a workaholic. Don't leave somebody in suspense. Don't be greedy. Don't be materialistic. Also here with the Six of Pentacles reversed, I'm seeing you need to be a nurturer. So don't not be a nurturer. You know what I mean. And I'm seeing let go of a taste for intrigue. Because if you have a taste for intrigue, that's going to hinder. It's clarified by Judgment, the truth. Now, I'm not saying the truth is going to hinder anything, because we're talking about getting the truth out, and this is good. The dark secret's supposed to be revealed, all of that. Judgment is a reconciliation. It's also the end of grief. But I'm seeing don't try to prove, remember, you're not trying to prove yourself. So don't try to prove innocence, is what I'm seeing, because this is an innocent card. This is more about healing and resolution. It's to forgive people, clearing out the emotions. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing forgive and forget. However, as a hindrance, the hindrance would be not forgetting. Normally this is like, don't forget this or else it might repeat. So because this is a hindrance, I'm saying you're going to have to forget at least enough to where you don't have PTSD anymore. I'm saying you're going to need to forget at least some things. But I'm seeing free yourself, and that's going to happen by you freeing other people. And again, there was some kind of a long forgotten past that somebody was feeling worthless or guilty about. And this is like, no, you know, that's been over or something. I don't know. Or somebody's forgiven somebody a long time ago. And this is saying you're going to be aware of that. It's like a new revelation. Also, I'm seeing you have to accept your actions. You have to come to terms with the past. I'm seeing people reconciling their ideas, and they're going to be liberated, just like on Judgment Day. They're going to be liberated, and it's like a life-giving idea or belief that comes. And I think it's like, to me, it reminds me of getting out of PTSD, especially because Five of Swords is reversed. I don't think that's possible, but it kind of looks like it. It says wonderful things are about to happen. So I mean, it's less of a hindrance. It's more good. But it says face life realistically, make the changes, be truthful because that destroys the negative and the false. It's a time of new beginnings, liberation, and just a final cleansing. And when you give grace to somebody else, it's a renewing thing. It frees you, but it also frees the other person. And guilt or shame or whatever, it can really weigh somebody down. And so when you extend that freedom to someone else, it's good. I'm also seeing, yeah, okay, this is what this is. This is receiving justice, and that's a hindrance. Because remember, we're seeing don't get retribution. I'm seeing stop seeking justice, stop trying to prove yourself, prove you're innocent. I'm seeing just accept responsibility, come to terms with things. I think everybody has to take responsibility here. Wipe the slate clean. And I get the image like let the dead bury the dead. So, okay, so as a hindrance, if you're going to dig up the past, remember outcomes, somebody's not letting somebody move on. Or maybe you're not letting yourself move on because of the PTSD. I'm seeing that's a hindrance, bringing stuff up over and over and over again. Nobody likes that. We do have the demanding female person, so maybe it's a nag. Don't nag somebody. I don't mean to be misogynist there, or sexist, but yeah. This is God's kind of grace and forgiveness where he doesn't remember it anymore. So I'm seeing you have to forget. This says don't forget, but I'm seeing it's a hindrance, so you need to forget. Wow. That's a powerful reading, you guys. Wow. It's a very long reading as well. Let me think about that for a second before I just stop the video. I don't know if there's something else. I do want to say that with the Empress here as an overarching theme, and then the Eight of Cups in the present, somebody's getting a dream. Like, and this may be the dream. Like, this is somebody's ideal woman or man or whoever, and somebody's getting it. But like, this is an exorbitant amount of attention. So again, I see somebody's really, really liking somebody. It could be a little one-sided, so I think that needs to be watched. I also see the need to let go of something that was unfair or one-sided. And then, again, with the Empress and the Six of Pentacles and just the Empress in general. Oh, the Four of Pentacles, too. I do see the need to let go, whatever that secret is. And I see you need to invest. You need to invest in this situation, whoever this Empress is. Doesn't have to be somebody pregnant, okay? I think it would be this soulmate. I think they're the same person. The Empress is like it, so that would be the soulmate. Something else. Yes, with the Five of Swords here, it's in reverse, so that's good. Yes, somebody sees somebody as super attractive. But the Five of Swords says at some point, this person felt unattractive. They felt very ugly. It could have been a self-esteem thing because of whatever happened. But it's in reverse, so I think when the conflict ends, the struggle ends, the fighting ends, possibly PTSD ends, that's going to change, and they're going to start seeing themselves this way. Maybe it's guilt or something, I don't know, but it's gonna change. That's the outcome. I don't know how far in the future that is. Really good outcome though. I think this might be my favorite reading. I've never had anything resolved like this. At least not so defined, maybe. I also see that because somebody has to invest with the Lovers here and the Empress. Now, to me, that's a mothering relationship, but it's not mothering. Not at least the creepy way. Especially with the Six of Pentacles here. We talked about don't not nurture earlier. This is saying you're going to have to nurture the relationship. Because the Empress, I've told you guys before, but listen again. She has to make sure that the nutrients are in the soil. She has to till the soil. She has to put in the seeds. She has to take care of like the water and the sunlight, that kind of stuff. And then she has to harvest. So she has to nurture things through the whole steps. And then she can't just forget. She has to do it again. Maybe after 7 years she can stop. Whatever. But that's what I'm seeing. You have to nurture all your relationships, but especially this soulmate relationship. I'm seeing it's just going to come through being reasonable. Probably after like some kind of a temporary separation. And if somebody takes the initiative, again, I'm seeing a clandestine relationship. And there might be a marriage somehow involved. But the universe is intervening. It's opening dialogue for you guys to talk. And a woman will be getting her power back. or somebody will, but this is also grace. This says receive grace, don't take it. And this is a very nurturing card. It's full of emotion and passion and beauty, and she's using her intuition. And this love it's divine. It's divine and it's human. So it's, soulmate, twin flame, divine, but it's also base and sexual. So perfect pretty much. And this person takes care of other people. It could end up in a marriage, but this person protects everybody, or those she loves anyway. It's a Cancer card because she's the nurturer, so maybe involving a Cancer. That's the only Cancer card I see though. I've seen people helping each other out, so it's not going to be one-sided. Because I do see whoever this is can't put in all the effort. It's got to be both people. So I do want to caution on that. It's going to have to be interdependent, and that'll bring about joy. There's lots of promise here, lots of prosperity, possible fertility. So if you don't want babies, you're going to have to take some precautions. But this says results are going to be better than you expect. You'd be expecting it to be this way, but it's going to be fabulous. Fabulous. Also the end of hard work, the end of sacrifice. Somebody gets their rewards, they get recognized, especially with the sun in here, they get seen in a good way. And I see the memories are going to be changed, which is probably a good thing for PTSD. It's going to be more positive, and somebody's going to imagine things differently. So maybe that's why this delusion is changing, but then it says the delusion doesn't change. Maybe what somebody was, what illusion they were stuck in maybe actually happens. Interesting. I'm seeing no longer being out of touch. This person, their thoughts are going to create their reality. So whatever illusion that they've been shaping the reality with, it looks like it's actually going to happen. So they're no longer out of touch. But man, this person they're just great. I mean, they're expressive. They give you freedom. So they're interdependent, but they're still dependent. They're not codependent. And they're very open-hearted and encourage people. And I'm seeing it should probably go both ways. So, yeah. I mean, this is interesting. I'm seeing both people need to take the initiative. Both people need to extend grace. But only if somebody's willing to give it, don't take it. Both people are super attracted to each other. And this is like people going home. People are finally having a home with somebody. And they're both taking the initiative. They're both having this open dialogue. And whatever separation has been here, the person's coming back. So it's just been temporary. Even though it seems like it might have been like maybe 5 years or something. All right, guys. So pretty sure this is for Scorpio. Good luck. Let me know how it turns out. I'm very interested to see how this plays. All right. Be happy.